Do you want to hear something no one has ever told you? You are trapped. Yes, you. You are confined within a prison of your own making, constructed brick by brick with every decision dictated by the opinions of others, with every action you abandoned out of fear of failure, with every forced smile concealing your true urge to scream. Do you feel that pressure in your chest? That is not anxiety. It is not stress. It is the crushing weight of a life lived for everyone but yourself. A life choreographed to entertain spectators who never even bought a ticket. And the cruelest part? No one asked you to make this sacrifice. No one demanded that you surrender your freedom, your essence, your authenticity. You did it willingly. You bound yourself to the expectations of others, trading your identity for fleeting approval, for momentary applause. And now, when you look within, what remains? How much of you is truly yours? And how much was shaped by fear, by insecurity, by the relentless need to belong? They led you to believe that control was the answer. They convinced you that if you managed every aspect of your life, everything would fall perfectly into place. But do you want to know the truth that no one dares to tell you? Absolute control is an illusion, a carefully crafted lie designed to keep you occupied, distracted, disconnected from what truly matters. The more you chase control, the deeper you sink into anxiety, silent despair, a life spent preparing for a future that never arrives. Have you ever wondered why you feel an emptiness even when you seem to have everything? It is because what you possess is not truly yours. Your success, your relationships, even your thoughts are tainted by the constant concern over how they are perceived by others. The more you seek validation, the further you drift from your core, from the essence you once recognized but can now barely recall. Michel de Montaigne, from his isolated tower in the 16th century, saw what you refuse to accept today. Detachment is not indifference. It is the only path to true freedom. He understood that we are not imprisoned by external circumstances, but by our obsession with control, our compulsion to please, our desperate avoidance of criticism. But what if I told you that the detachment you fear is actually the key to your liberation? What if, for just a moment, you dared to loosen your grip on the rope you cling to so tightly, the rope you believe is saving you, but is, in reality, strangling you? Here lies the paradox. The more you try to control, the less control you have. The more you strive to please, the less authentic you become. And the more you resist change, the harder it strikes when it inevitably arrives. The world does not and will never operate under your control. Accepting this is not a sign of weakness, but of wisdom. Life, with all its chaos and unpredictability, asks only one thing of you, something terrifying in its simplicity: to let go. Let go of the need for approval. Let go of the fear of failure. Let go of the false identity you constructed to shield yourself from judgment. Imagine, just for a second, what would happen if you stopped caring about others' opinions. Who would you be without that constant fear? What would you do if you knew that no one would ever judge you? The person you see in your mind right now, the version of yourself who lives without mental chains, is who you truly are. But there is something deeper, something more unsettling about this reality. You fear letting go because, deep down, you do not know who you are without your chains. You are terrified that without them, nothing will remain. But here is the harsh and liberating truth that Montaigne whispered from his tower centuries ago. Only by shedding what you are not can you finally see who you are. The freedom you long for is waiting just beyond the fear that paralyzes you. It is not in a self-help book, not in a motivational speech, not in some mystical secret. It is here, in this very moment, waiting for you to summon the courage to face your life and declare, I no longer need approval. I no longer need to control the uncontrollable. I no longer need to pretend to be someone I am not. So tell me, are you ready to let go? Or will you keep clinging to control, knowing that every passing day pulls you further from your true essence? This is only the beginning of a journey you may not want, but desperately need. And the choice is entirely yours. Will you remain caged in the golden prison you built for yourself? Or will you embrace the risk of diving into the unknown, into a freedom that frightens you, but is the only thing that will truly make you feel alive? Welcome to the philosophy of detachment, the pursuit of inner freedom that will transform everything you thought you knew about yourself. The path is unsettling, but I promise you this: the only thing more terrifying than moving toward that freedom is staying exactly where you are. You have been led to believe that achieving goals is the ultimate purpose. But what if most of those goals were never truly yours? You have spent your life climbing ladders built by others, never stopping to question whether you even wanted to reach the top. And now that you are here, what do you see? The view you dreamed of? Or merely a distorted reflection of someone else's desires? We are obsessed with success, convinced that reaching certain milestones will bring us peace. But have you ever truly asked yourself, what is success? And more importantly, whose success are you pursuing? Perhaps you have already checked off many of the achievements that were supposed to make you happy: the right studies, the right job, the right social circle. Yet something still feels missing. That quiet discomfort, that unshakable restlessness, is the voice you have ignored for too long, your true self demanding to be heard. Montaigne, in his voluntary isolation, discovered a dangerous truth. Real success looks nothing like what society sold you. It is not a title, not an accumulation of wealth, not even external recognition. True success, the kind few dare to pursue, is living in complete alignment with who you are. But to do that, you must first discover who you are beyond the masks, beyond expectations, beyond the fabricated self you present to the world. You have worn this disguise for so long that you no longer even notice the exhausting effort it takes to maintain it. But the mind is relentless. No matter how much you try to suppress it, something inside you will always rebel, something that, sooner or later, will shatter the illusion. And here is an unsettling but freeing truth. As long as you hide behind a facade, you will never know true peace. The stress, the anxiety, the emptiness you feel are not random. They are the inevitable consequence of living a life for others. And here lies the dilemma that Montaigne understood well. Most people would rather endure the discomfort of an unfulfilled life than risk the uncertainty of discovering themselves. So, which side do you belong to? Are you among those willing to take the risk of finding themselves? Or will you remain numb, lost in the anesthetic cycle of routine? Because routine is deceptive. It keeps you occupied, distracted, trapped in a loop that slowly dulls your will. But the price of this false security is steep, the complete loss of inner freedom. True freedom is not the ability to do whatever you want, whenever you want. It is something much deeper, the courage to be yourself, even if that means breaking expectations, challenging norms, and sometimes disappointing those you love most. You may wonder, what if being my true self costs me everything I have built? But here lies another paradox. If you must pretend to maintain something, then it was never truly yours. The real question is, will you keep living by inertia, afraid to discover who you are? Or will you finally gather the courage to step into the unknown that terrifies you, but holds the possibility of something infinitely more valuable? The answer is yours alone.